One of the biggest mistakes care partners make is believing that when someone with dementia says no, they're refusing the task. They're refusing the shower, the medication, the doctor's appointment, the caregiver. But after nearly 20 years as a neuropsychologist, I can tell you that's usually not what the brain is saying at all. Because most of the time, they're not refusing the help, they're refusing what the help represents. And once you understand that, you stop fighting the behavior and start working with the brain. So if you've ever walked away from one of those conversations thinking, why are they being so stubborn? Or why won't they just let me help them? You are not alone. It's one of the most common questions caregivers ask me, and honestly, it's also one of the most misunderstood behaviors in dementia, because what looks like stubbornness is often a symptom of the disease itself. Today, I want to take you inside the dementia brain, because once you understand what the brain is experiencing, your approach changes, and often their response changes too. Hi, for those of you new here, I'm Dr. Sinclair, a neuropsychologist, dementia care specialist, and founder of the Confident Caregiver Academy, where I teach caregivers how to care for their loved ones with dementia and themselves. Let's jump on in. Let's start here. Imagine you're driving your car, you know exactly where you're going, then suddenly someone in the passenger seat reaches over for the steering wheel. Even if they're trying to help, what's your first instinct? You swat their hand away, maybe you pull back. Your response has nothing to do with liking them or you trying to be difficult. Your response is because losing control feels dangerous. It feels threatening. Now imagine people start grabbing that steering wheel every single day. We're taking away your keys, we're managing your medications now, we're paying your bills, we're helping you shower, we're hiring someone to stay with you. Little by little, it feels dangerous. It starts to feel like someone else is driving your life. That feeling is incredibly important, because every time someone offers to help, even when it's warranted, the dementia brain doesn't see it as help. It feels like a threat. Another piece of independence is gone. Another reminder that life is changing. Another hand reaching for that steering wheel. And once you start to understand that, care partners, a lot of these no's suddenly make a lot more sense. What caregivers miss? This is where I think care partners accidentally get trapped. They hear, no, I don't need your help, and naturally they respond with facts. But mom, you almost fell. But dad, you forgot your medication the last time. But dad, you haven't showered all week. We talked about this yesterday. Those statements are logical. The problem is, logic isn't the part of the brain that's driving these conversations anymore. There's something much bigger happening. First red flag, they may not realize they need help. One of the brain areas commonly affected in many types of dementia is the frontal lobes. Think of the frontal lobes as the brain's CEO. They're responsible for judgment, problem solving, self-awareness, and recognizing when we need assistance. As these networks become damaged, many people develop something called anosognosia. This is one of the most misunderstood symptoms I see as a neuropsychologist. Anosognosia is not denial, although it looks like it. It's not lying, it's not pride, it's not someone being difficult. It's a neurological phenomenon where the brain loses the ability to accurately recognize its limitations. Think about that for a second. If your brain can't accurately recognize that you're struggling, why would you accept anyone's help? It doesn't make sense. From their perspective, they're fine. You're the one trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. And that's why simply explaining, reasoning, proving your point, mom, you almost fell, it falls on deaf ears, because the brain associated with understanding all of that is failing them. Second red flag, the brain becomes less flexible. Even when someone does recognize something is different, accepting help requires another brain skill, flexibility. The frontal lobes, again, also help us to adapt to change, to accept new routines, to shift from I've always done this myself to maybe someone else needs to help me now. Dementia makes those mental shifts much harder. So when you suddenly introduce a care partner to the house or change a routine or insist they do something differently, it isn't just inconvenient, their brain may genuinely struggle to adapt to that change. What looks like stubbornness may actually be impaired cognitive flexibility. Again, that's a brain symptom, not a personality flaw. Quick pause. If you're hearing this and thinking, I've made some of these negative assumptions, please don't beat yourself up. No one teaches this to families. That's why I'm doing it here. So if you're learning something new today, please like and subscribe and share this with another care partner who's equally too hard on themselves. Thank you. Now let's move on to the next red flag. Third red flag, the brain switches into protection mode. Enter the amygdala. Think of the amygdala as the brain's alarm system. Its job isn't to decide who's right. Its job is to answer the question, am I safe? Loss of independence, loss of privacy, loss of dignity, all feel threatening. All feels like someone's grabbing that steering wheel. So once the amygdala senses that threat, the brain becomes less interested in explanations and logic and much more interested in protection. That's why arguing with your person with dementia often makes things worse. It falls on deaf ears. The more evidence you present, the more corrected they feel. The more corrected they feel, the more the brain protects itself. Protection comes in many forms. Sometimes that looks like anger. Sometimes that looks like them walking away, ignoring you. Sometimes accusing you of controlling them. And very often it sounds like one simple word, no. Fourth red flag, the brain has trouble predicting what happens next. There's one more brain change that caregivers rarely hear about, and I think it's one of the biggest reasons people refuse help. Healthy brains are constantly making predictions. If I tell you we're going to the dentist, your brain automatically fills in the blanks. You'll get in the car, drive there, check in, have your appointment, you know what's expected in the appointment, then you'll come home. Your brain creates a roadmap even before you've left the house. The dementia brain often loses that ability because the networks responsible for planning and anticipating what's coming next has broken down. As a result, the future feels much less predictable, and when the brain can't predict what's going to happen next, uncertainty starts to feel unsafe. So when you say, let's go take a shower, your loved one isn't necessarily thinking, I'm refusing a shower. Their brain may simply be thinking, I don't know what's about to happen next, so I don't want to do that. The same is true when a new caregiver walks through the door, or when it's time for the doctor's appointment, or when you suggest moving into assisted living. They're not just reacting to the task, they're reacting to uncertainty. And uncertainty can feel frightening when your brain can no longer build a clear picture of what's coming next. So what to do instead? So what can you do with all of this? Notice that none of these 4 brain changes are about someone choosing to be difficult. They're changes in how the brain understands the world, which means your goal is no longer to convince. Your goal is to help the brain feel safer. That starts with preserving dignity whenever possible. So instead of saying, it's time for your shower, you could try, would you rather shower before breakfast or after? Notice the shower isn't optional, but you've given them a piece of control. Instead of, you need to take your medication, you could try, would you like to take these with juice or water? And when something is unfamiliar, don't explain every single step all at once. Simply introduce the next step. We're going to the bathroom now. Then we're going to wash your hands. Then we're going to change into your pajamas. One step at a time. Predictability reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is often what their brain is responding to. Preferably, care partners, use visual aids so you can model the hand washing, you could model them putting on their pajamas. That visual cue is helpful for the dementia-affected brain. And finally, instead of correcting with, you're doing it wrong, be curious. You could try something like, I wonder if it will work this way. What do you think about this? As you're demonstrating, you get the point. Instead of commanding, collaborate. Instead of proving, protect dignity, because every time you preserve even a small sense of autonomy, the brain has less reason to fight for it. In closing, I want you to remember the steering wheel. The next time your loved one says no, you now recognize it's a reflex. So instead of immediately asking yourself, why are they refusing my help? Ask yourself something a bit more helpful. Does this feel like another hand reaching for their steering wheel? That one question changes everything. It helps you to soften your approach because you'll stop seeing them as someone who's being stubborn, and you'll start seeing them as someone whose brain is struggling with insight, flexibility, and the frightening experience of losing control. Now, that doesn't mean you'll never hear no again, but it does mean that you'll respond differently. At least I hope. And when you respond differently, very often they do too. I hope today's video was helpful, Care Partners. If this video helped you, then go ahead and grab the free Dementia Care Starter Kit below to help you get to the next level. And for those of you needing more personalized guidance, then go ahead and schedule a call with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.